Nathan Cleary breaks down after his coach Ivan Cleary announces retirement. Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Unpopular Aussie Opinions. Now, before we dive into today's video, I need you to understand something. What we are about to discuss is not just another rugby league story. This is not just about a coach hanging up the clipboard or a player moving on to the next chapter. This is about the end of an era that has defined Penrith, that has dominated the NRL, and honestly, that has changed the landscape of rugby league in this country forever. Ivan Cleary's retirement announcement has sent shockwaves through the rugby league community, and watching Nathan Cleary break down emotionally in response has given us one of the most raw and genuine moments we have seen in Australian sport in years. But here is where my unpopular opinion comes in, and trust me, you might not like what I am about to say. This retirement, as emotional and significant as it is, might actually be the best thing that could happen to both Nathan Cleary and the Penrith Panthers moving forward. Now, before you click off this video or leave an angry comment, hear me out. I am not being disrespectful to Ivan Cleary. The man is a legend. 4 consecutive premierships. He has built a dynasty at Penrith that will be talked about for generations. He has developed one of the most dominant teams we have ever seen in the NRL. But sometimes, even the greatest partnerships need to come to an end for everyone involved to reach their next level of greatness. Let us start with what actually happened. The footage of Nathan breaking down when his father announced his retirement was absolutely heartbreaking. You could see the weight of everything hitting him all at once. This was not just his coach stepping away. This was his father, his mentor, the man who has been by his side through every triumph and every setback. The man who believed in him when critics said he would never live up to the hype. The man who built an entire system around maximizing his son's incredible talents. And make no mistake, their partnership has been nothing short of extraordinary. Since Ivan returned to Penrith in 2019, the Panthers have been the benchmark of the competition. They have not just won premierships, they have dominated. They have created a culture that other clubs desperately try to replicate. They have produced some of the most exciting football we have ever witnessed. Nathan has developed from a talented young half into arguably the greatest player of his generation, and Ivan has been the architect of it all. But here is the uncomfortable truth that nobody wants to talk about. Nathan Cleary has never had to prove himself without his father. Every single achievement in his career has come with Ivan Cleary as his coach. Every premiership, every Clive Churchill medal, every Dally M award, all of it has happened under his father's coaching. And whether we like it or not, there will always be that asterisk in some people's minds. There will always be that question of whether Nathan is genuinely the best player in the game or whether he is simply the beneficiary of a system built specifically for him by his father. Now, before you lose your minds, let me be absolutely clear. Nathan Cleary is an extraordinary player. His game management is sublime. His kicking game is world-class. His ability to control a match is second to none. But the reality is, we have never seen him operate outside of his father's system. We have never seen him adapt to a different coaching philosophy. We have never seen him prove that he can be Nathan Cleary without Ivan Cleary pulling the strings. And that is precisely why this retirement, as painful as it is, could be the making of Nathan Cleary's legacy. Because if he can maintain this level of dominance, if he can continue to lead Penrith to premierships, if he can prove that the dynasty continues even after Ivan walks away, then there will be no doubt whatsoever. No one will be able to question whether he was a product of his father's system. He will have proven, beyond any shadow of doubt, that he is genuinely one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Think about it this way. When we talk about the all-time greats, we talk about players who prove themselves in different systems, under different coaches, in different circumstances. Johns did it. Thurston did it. Smith did it. They proved time and time again that they could adapt, that they could dominate regardless of who was coaching them. And now Nathan has that opportunity. This is his chance to step out of his father's shadow, not because his father was holding him back, but because that shadow will always exist until he proves he can thrive without it. But there is another dimension to this that we need to discuss. The emotional toll that this relationship has taken on both men. Coaching your son at the highest level of professional sport is unimaginably difficult. Every decision Ivan makes about Nathan gets scrutinized 100 times more than any other coaching decision. Every time Nathan has a bad game, people question whether Ivan is being too soft on him. Every time Nathan plays through injury, people ask whether Ivan is pushing him too hard because he is his son. The pressure on both of them has been absolutely immense. And you could see that pressure in Nathan's breakdown. This was not just about losing his coach. This was about the ending of a relationship that has been the defining feature of his entire adult life. Since he was a child, his father has been grooming him for this moment, preparing him to be an elite rugby league player. And now, for the first time, Nathan is going to have to do it alone. That is absolutely terrifying, even for someone as talented and accomplished as Nathan Cleary. Here is another unpopular opinion. Ivan's timing is perfect. The Panthers have just come off another premiership. The team is still in its prime. The systems are well established. The culture is embedded in the club. This is the ideal moment to hand over the reins to a new coach who can build on what Ivan has created without having to rebuild from scratch. If Ivan had stayed for another 2 or 3 years, the team would inevitably start to decline as players age and move on. By leaving now, he ensures that his successor has the best possible chance of maintaining the success. And for Nathan, this is happening at exactly the right point in his career. He is still young enough to adapt. He is still hungry enough to prove himself. He has already achieved enough that he does not need to prove anything to anyone, but he has enough years left in his career to build a whole new chapter of success. This could be the catalyst that pushes him to even greater heights. But let us also acknowledge the very real possibility that this could go the other way. What if Nathan struggles without his father's guidance? What if the next coach cannot get the best out of him? What if the dynasty crumbles without Ivan at the helm? These are legitimate concerns, and they are probably part of why Nathan was so emotional. He understands better than anyone what his father brought to the team, and he knows that replacing that will be incredibly difficult. However, this is also where Nathan's true character will be revealed. Champions respond to adversity. Champions rise to challenges. And if Nathan truly is one of the all-time greats, then this is his moment to prove it. This is when he needs to step up not just as a player, but as a leader. He needs to be the one helping the new coach transition into the role. He needs to be the one ensuring that the Panthers culture continues. He needs to be the one who carries the torch that his father has handed to him. There is also something beautiful about the way Ivan is doing this. He is not leaving because the team is struggling. He is not being forced out. He is leaving on his own terms, at the absolute peak of his powers, having achieved everything there is to achieve. That takes incredible strength and self-awareness. It would be so easy to hang on for a few more years, to try to squeeze out one more premiership, to maintain that control. But Ivan understands that sometimes the greatest gift you can give someone is the space to grow without you. And for Nathan, as painful as this is right now, he will look back on this moment as one of the most important of his life. This is his emancipation. This is his opportunity to step out of the father-son dynamic and into his own identity as a player and as a man. Yes, Ivan will always be his father. Yes, they will always have that bond. But professionally, Nathan now has the chance to define himself on his own terms. So here is my prediction. I think we are going to see a different Nathan Cleary next season. I think we are going to see a player with something to prove. I think we are going to see someone determined to show the world that everything he achieved was because of his own brilliance, not just his father's coaching. And I genuinely believe that could make him even better than he already is. The breakdown we witnessed was real. The emotion was genuine. And it should be. This is the end of one of the most successful partnerships in rugby league history. But every ending is also a beginning. And I firmly believe that both Ivan and Nathan Cleary's best chapters might still be ahead of them, just written separately rather than together. Ivan Cleary has cemented his legacy as one of the greatest coaches in NRL history. No one can ever take away what he achieved at Penrith. But now it is Nathan's turn to cement his own legacy, independent of his father's shadow. And that, as difficult as it might be, is exactly how it should be. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to Unpopular Aussie Opinions, because we are not afraid to say what everyone else is thinking but will not say out loud. I will see you in the next one.